Twitter actually has fairly sophisticated tools for sort of combing through all of the many tweets that are going out there and getting rid of certain types of content. They've been able to do that in some areas, but notably not in other areas. They have opted out of policing certain types of speech that could lead to crimes, to violence and things like that. And now we know a little bit more about why. So there was a question at a meeting, and one of the employees there spoke with Motherboard later on, asking why, if they can use algorithms that they've developed to get rid of ISIS-related or other sort of extremist terrorist-related content, why can't they do that with clear white supremacist content? And the AI-focused employee said one concern with a white supremacist algorithm was that it would inadvertently flag the accounts of some Republican politicians, potentially causing a backlash. That seems to me like more of an issue with the politicians than with the algorithm.
This is not even that tacit admission that white supremacy has been so embraced and bolstered by the Republican Party apparatus that when engineers, whose job it is to just break down what's going on in the world, because that's their job. Their job is to look at things that are kind of fuzzy and find ways to specifically set them into one group or another. They are saying the problem is that the GOP is indistinguishable from white supremacists.
Or at least some in it.
Right, exactly.
Like their rhetoric, their talking points, all of that, some of their speeches, we can't necessarily differentiate that in a reliable way.
Right, and rhetorically speaking, I mean, that goes all the way through to things like white privilege and how people who enjoy the legacy of white supremacy on which the American economy was originally built through slavery, it is hard to get people to admit that white supremacy is part of the American identity. And is it gonna take the Twitter engineers to say, listen, I can show you our algorithm and here is where it gets tripped up? But what do you think?
Wouldn't you love to see that algorithm?
I would love to, I'd love to see it anyway. There's a bunch of reasons why I would love to see it, just because the way it seems to work is in a way, most algorithms seem to work in a way that they just release a bunch of AI onto their previously put together AI, and it's a bunch of patches on patches on patches rather than like, here, we're gonna take this section out and put that section in.
I really would wonder, and I guess there could be some concern that there's edge cases, I guess, but my overall reaction to this is, like, as there's this explosion of extremist groups over the past couple of years. It got revved up as soon as Obama was sworn in, total coincidence. And then since Donald Trump, there's more and more of these white nationalist, white identitarian, white supremacist extremist groups. Obviously, they've been responsible for horrific acts of mass violence and terrorism, including very recently. And it's easy to get disheartened when you see things like this, where Twitter is so worried about looking biased that they will do nothing, even at the risk of more violence coming as a result of the spreading of these talking points. So we'll get to that in just a second, but there really is nobody coming to protect us. None of this, like the huge innovators in Silicon Valley and big data and all that, hypothetically, it could be put to the use of bettering society, or at least lowering the risk of some of the worst sorts of extremists, but they're just not gonna do it. They're just not that sort of people. They are not the leftists that conservatives have tried to portray them for the past decade or two.
No, they're businesses.
Yeah.
They're absolutely businesses. And it's interesting, like, you've got people like Facebook, Twitter, they're competing with each other, but they're not the same. In the past, you had like CBS, NBC, ABC, they're all the same, but they're all different things on the same platform. The thing about Twitter is right now, in terms of overall discourse, they are the center of it. You wanna say Facebook, maybe YouTube? No, it's Twitter, because the entire American political conversation is this crazy outcropping of Trump tweets, period. And essentially, I understand why there would be pushback from a business standpoint from Twitter to be like, listen, you have a white supremacist president who is feeding what, if you look at all the other ones in terms of revenue, Facebook does way better. Google owned properties do way better. Twitter has like a people use us, so we should be valuable, right approach.
We're hypothetically valuable.
But yes, exactly. We have eyeballs. And if they were to get rid of that one thing, they would be cannibalizing their own business.
Yeah, they should still do it though.
But they've also
I think
proven
that it drives a lot of people off the platform.
It drives, yeah, but it's hard to identify people that you don't have. You know, and it's easy to say we have those people. Why would we get rid of those people? I think the people who back off Twitter because they're just saying like they're more likely to back off Twitter and Facebook and Snapchat and all of those things and Instagram. Maybe not Instagram, but they're likely to back off all of those, and just getting rid of white supremacists wouldn't necessarily bring them back to Twitter, but getting rid of white supremacists would get white supremacists off of Twitter, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, evidently. Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.